Hello, my Elementary 2 artists. I wanted to show you a design and color theory based project today. It is fairly fast. It could be super complicated or it could be fairly easy, but it's a lot of bang for the buck. So what you need is paper, whatever size you want. You can do a large piece of paper or just like a smaller kind of copy. Size page, Sharpie markers, whatever color you want, or some kind of permanent marker. You could do this with pencil, but it might smear around. And then you need a circle. It can be a thing of tape, it could be a can, it can be a ring to the bottom of but I thought I'd use the tape circle because it's easy to trace around. So I think I'll trace let's try the middle. So I'm just going around, that's easy enough. Now I'm going to start overlapping my circles. You can do this a couple of different ways. You can do this really symmetrically so that it's all the same. I think I'm just going to go random because it feels like a random sort of day. So I'm just going to go through and continue to my circles. I might fall off the page over here, and that's okay. I could switch colors if I wanted. I think I'm just going to keep it all the same color. I'm going a little too fast. See that part? That's kind of messy. So I'm going to try to turn that into a design element there. Maybe over here as well. I should probably slow down my process a little. Sometimes I get a little too excited to show you guys these projects that I come and I forget to craft my work. The craftsmanship matters, as always. So now I'm starting to create different areas, different spaces here, and that's part of my design. Right now it kind of has this diagonal pattern happening. I'm going to run off my paper here and see what happens. Yeah, I like that better. I'm going to fill up the entire page with just a series of circles. Always overlapping. I don't have any circle that is standing alone. So they are all connected. They're all working together visually. Look like they're hanging out by themselves. Add another circle. All right, this one's really random. Now I know some of you like a more precise layout, and you can completely do this like some of the more traditional, like Islamic tile designs are incredible design works. Check those out. Maybe I'll post a couple of images for you. That's where I came up with this idea. So once I have, that's pretty good. I think I'll stop there. So now I have my series of circles, and you notice that I've created a lot of different sections. Now I can start my color work. As far as your materials, you can use watercolor paints if you have it. I just have this small set here, lovely colors. You can use your Sharpie markers if you happen to have some of your nice colors there to come in, like especially some of these really tiny areas. Maybe a marker is a little bit easier to control instead of paint. You could use pastels. They're a little harder to control, right? I'm going to work only with solid colors. You can change the tone, you can change the value. I am not going to do pattern work on this one because I think that there's enough happening here that I don't need to add any more visual elements to it. So I'm going to go in with some of my watercolor paint I'm going to start in the middle here. I'm trying to stay within these sections. Think maybe stained glass, so that each section is its own color. And I'm thinking solid colors, like really vivid colors. So I'm not worried about shading. I'm not worried about mixing colors within each field. This is kind of a tomato soup red, isn't it? So I'm going to continue on. It's really tricky to stay within those lines. Probably a smaller brush, but I work with what I've got. So look at that interesting shape. While I've got this color in my brush, I might want to move around to a different section for the sake of efficiency. Let's see, maybe this corner over here, so I've got this diagonal so that these colors will all balance one another out. Maybe 5 sections with the same color? I don't know. Maybe try a large section, a medium section, all with the same color. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do this one up here. And then I'm going to switch colors. When you have completed it, it will be a really interesting color field design work. So now I'm moving on to a blue. So I like this blue next to the red that tucks really nicely together, although it's kind of a wishy-washy blue. Maybe I'll go shopping a little bit more to make it a little more vivid. There we go. So if you're using watercolor paints, going wet against wet is going to cause this to happen, that bleed out. So you might want to be wiser than your art teacher and choose a section that's not beside one another. I hope you guys have some watercolor paints at home, because this is really kind of fun to paint. This is just the normal sketchbook paper. If you have a heavier weight paper, it's going to take the watercolor paints better. If you're lucky enough to have watercolor paper, that would work really great with this project. So keep working on that, see what you come up with, and don't forget to share your work with me, because I love to see it. All right, enjoy.